Hey, Sarge, have fun babysitting the ship.
Yeah, hi guys, we're here at NCSoft booth at Gamescom, and I'm joined by Jeremy, who's the executive producer for an upcoming MMO called Wildstar. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the game, Jeremy?
So Wildstar is a science fantasy MMO, all online game, and it's really about this mysterious world that's been strangely wrecked by this alien race that's vanished. And you have to figure out exactly what's going on and dig into that story.
Cool. So what are you doing in terms of classes?
So for classes, we have a number of different classes. What we've been showing now is there's the warrior, big brutish guy who beats stuff up. A mentalist who uses telepathy to send illusionary weapons at people. And also we've been working on a spell slinger who has got guns and magic combined. So it's sort of like all that fantasy and all that magic combined with technology.
Yeah. So balance is obviously an important part of any MMO. So how are you kind of balancing the different classes and races and factions?
What we try to do is make it so you can't make a dumb choice. You know, very often early in a game, you're making these choices that are going to last forever. And so what we try to do is make it so that you can't ever permanently gimp your character, but there's still a lot of ability to customize, and there's still a lot of racial differences. But it's much harder to do things. If you're a very strong race, then all the kind of abilities you get that involve strength are easier for you to get. But you can never permanently be denied something based on a choice you made when you were a newbie and you didn't know what was going on.
Right. So a lot of you guys are coming off the World of Warcraft team, actually. So and you set out to create the next big MMO. What was your goal with this project?
So the goal for the project really is to make the next awesome, MMO. And we think that's based on two really simple things. The game needs to be fun. It needs to be, cool from the start, where it's very easy to play, but then it gets more and more skillful, more and more complex. So leveling up has to have a ton of variety. And then once you're at cap, the key part is making sure the Elder games are fun. What are you doing once there's no more leveling up? It's got to be exciting. It's got to be innovative. You have to have new stuff for players to do at that level cap.
And you also have a pretty interesting combat system with evading and stuff like that. Why don't you tell us about that?
We call it freeform targeting. Basically, monsters do threats that you need to interact with. You dodge out of them or you use them against other monsters. And you're also controlling the battlefield yourself with your own spells. So there's all sorts of variety. We're going for fight after fight after fight. It's always something new. It's always something different.
So MMOs are kind of infamous for their grinding and fetching quests and stuff like that. How are you handling the questing in this game?
Well, grinds suck, and so we're absolutely about trying to, again, it's making sure you have interesting things to do. The environment's chock full of different things, and quests find you. It isn't always about, like, you find that guy with the exclamation point over his head. It's about your cell phone calls you up because a pilot crashed nearby, and there's a new dynamic event going on. It's about finding things in the wild. It's about unlocking things, and especially the kind of content that you as a player really want to play. We send lots of that content your way so that it's interesting for you as an individual player.
You also have showed up a trailer of housing, so you can have your private space in the world. What's that all about?
So we're doing a series of videos that are really high personality. One of the cool things about Wildstar is it's not like sort of your average MMO. It's really got a personality and a feel to it that's unique. And that includes our housing video. The faction that's introducing housing is kind of the used car salesman race of our universe. But they're telling you some pretty interesting things about it. If you like soloing, you don't want to be crowded out, awesome. You can have your house on a floating island, rip it out of the ground, and you can have your own sort of version where nobody can bug you. Or if you want to join your neighbors, you want to join your friends, great, land your house on the ground, and now you can interact with them. People can wander over to your house, you can interact. We really try to give you the kind of gameplay you want, whether it's solo or group.
So how's your looting system work and the equipment and that kind of stuff?
So with looting, basically you hit a mob and loot just flies out of it. It's like a piñata full of goodies that happens whenever you kill a monster. We try to have the loot be very fun and also very customizable. So if you don't like the loot you're getting, well, collect a lot of it and then maybe you can modify some of these pieces to make it custom, make it better just for you.
Okay, cool. Are you doing an open beta soon?
Yes. For some definitions of soon, yes. Right now we're in friends and family. We have a couple hundred people in the game running around testing us. They tell us when things are awesome. They tell us when things suck. And so as most of them tell us everything is awesome, then we're going to open up that group into a full closed beta. But really what we want to do is make sure it's a fun and polished experience even from an early stage. Last year at Gamescom, we let people just into the alpha content, even a very early, before even in friends and family stage, to go get hands-on. We love it when new users come in and play our game. We just record everything they do, and we really sort of listen to their feedback. And so we're really excited to actually get in the closed beta stages because we like our fans and we like them telling them, when they love stuff and when they hate stuff. All that's very useful to us.
Cool. So how are you handling the leveling up? Like, do you get talent points and skill trees and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so as you level up your character, the goal is really to have a lot of customization, to let you tune your character the way you want it to be. And so we're actually iterating a lot of the systems right now as we're going through friends and family to sort of determine exactly what mix that is. But the short form is that as you guide your characters, we want you to make choices that really matter to your character. And there's a cost to changing them so that it's not like you can ever put yourself in a hole that you can never recover from, but there's always some way that you can get back to do it. But it can't be as trivial as just, hey, I can try every skill at any time and every combination every time. You got to feel like you have ownership of your character.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And yeah, that's Wildstar. So check it out, guys. And we'll have more interviews and trailers and stuff like that from Gamescom soon enough.
Nobody touch anything.